It does make me kind of sad, though, to see just how clearly we can trace the decline of my favourite kind of hero through these three covers and through these three eras. And I speak, of course, of the barbarian hero, the icon of classic sword and sorcery. Barbarian hero, as was the style at the genre's high point in the 80s. Outrageous parody of a barbarian hero, as was the style in the wake of the genre's decline in the 90s. And no barbarian hero, as is the style of today. That's right, there are no barbarian heroes in this image, which augurs that there are no barbarian heroes in this game. But don't get me wrong, there's a barbarian character, too, actually, but the blood of Conan has become thin in these dark, modern times. This kind of brutal and savagely physical hero is very seldom seen in the modern age without a cushioning layer of parody and subversion, which is what we get here. This warrior isn't as outrageous as his predecessor, but he's clearly much more sinister. This kind of dark reflection of the barbarian hero is a very common foil for such characters, and is very often encountered as henchmen to the barbarian hero's true nemesis, the sorcerer.
And whether good or evil will rule. Evil! So I expect.
This character isn't positioned as henchman or villain, though, is he? Oh, he's clearly fighting on the heroic side. What we've got here is a barbarian anti-hero, the most common variant of the breed. All that said, this image does have a glaring weak point. Its primary character, this fellow. Now, I don't like these so-called Stormcast Eternals personally, but I don't think their design is strictly bad. It just has a serious flaw. They cannot hold a heroic theme in pictures like this. Heroism just slides right off this guy, and the rest of the characters in the image have to take it up, and as a result, the heroism in this heroic image becomes really dilute. The issue is that this character is too inhuman. Now, with this design, I think they're trying to co-opt the heroics of classical knightly figures, but those have centuries of accumulated heroic association that the Stormcast Eternals just fail to reproduce. And as a result, we're presented with this frightening-looking golem that actually resists heroism. Comparisons with Space Marines are appropriate, but when the Marine is called upon to carry an heroic image, they can do so with their helmet off. It's magic. It lets them show emotion and a humanity that gives heroism some context to cling to. Heroic images with figures like the Stormcast Eternal certainly can be done, but the artist has to be clever about it. And if it's true that they can't or don't take their helmets off, well, I hope Games Workshop still has some clever artists. That aside, I still like the image, and it certainly belongs in this trilogy. Yeah, who am I kidding? There's only one true trilogy round here. Christ, now the birds have started.
They weren't there a minute ago.
All right, Metzen, I've got you on a charge of attempted grudge evasion through the medium of retirement. I'm not going to stand for that. I'm going to summon my dwarfs. We're going to march on Blizzard. All of the monsters get this one composite image, and it's really nice. It even makes the grot scuttlings look good. What do we get these days? Well, we get an app, packed, of course, with microtransactions.
For reasons of copyright, I am now watering on.
Good Lord.